Hi again. This time out, we're going to take a look at this response paragraph assignment in some detail. While it's called the response paragraph assignment, it's an assignment that actually involves two paragraphs. The response paragraph is the second paragraph. The first paragraph is, well, what you're responding to. So in this assignment, we're going to model the basic moves from chapters 2 and 3 of They Say, I Say, summarizing, quoting, and then that second paragraph is going to lead you to respond to the article you summarized in the first paragraph. So that first paragraph should provide the context. That's the they say for your topic. This is the ongoing conversation that you're going to wade into. This context paragraph should begin with common belief or assumption, something like such as many Americans assume, those opening moves that we looked at in chapter 1 of They Say, I Say. So to develop this paragraph, you must include specific content from a specific reading about the topic. Be sure you're able to identify the author or authors of this reading. This is a very important thing for two reasons. One is it's much easier to evaluate the credibility of your source if you know who wrote it. As you know, many sources on the internet say something like 7 signs your marriage is in trouble doesn't have an author. So who wrote it? Who's responsible for that information? It could simply be all made up, or it could be put together by somebody who really has no background or experience in the field. So that's the first reason you want to be able to identify the author of the work you're summarizing. The second is, as far as documenting a source, it is so much easier to document a source if you know who the author is. As you look at the sample response paragraph, it's in a separate video in this module, you'll see how, if you have the author's name, it's so much easier to move from sentence to sentence, indicating that. Also, be sure to use that and, but, therefore narrative structure we practiced earlier in the course. This is, I think, again, you'll see how that is the basic way I approach the summary in the sample response paragraph. So the second paragraph of the assignment will provide your logical response. That's the I say of the assignment. You may disagree with the source used in the first paragraph and explain why, or agree and add your own examples in support. Regardless, this paper should draw from your own experiences or examples. So as you pick a topic, be sure that you've selected something that you have firsthand experience with, and you're not looking for a topic that's incredibly controversial. You're just looking for a topic that relates to regular folks like us. So in selecting the topic, think about something that would complete one of these templates. The benefits of blank, how good is blank, how blank changed blank. The first two, I think, are pretty self-evident. If you've had an experience, say, with a diet, then you could talk about the benefits of that diet. How good is more an evaluation. Let's say you've recently bought a new vehicle, a new car, and you find a review of that car in Car and Driver or something like that. Summarize the review, and then from your own experience as an owner of that vehicle, you could agree and or maybe you find that it's not as good as the review, or maybe you find it better than the review. I think that would be more the case. You might find a negative review for the new Corolla, and instead you love it and think it's the best car ever. So that's the way that would work. How blank changed blank, I think in sort of the age of COVID, we certainly have seen in recently how either the pandemic or maybe technology has profoundly changed things that maybe just day-to-day things. Specifically, I guess I'm here thinking about how COVID changed homework. If you were one of the millions of parents who had to take on the role of teacher's aide for the last year, you would certainly understand that during the pandemic, school changed a great deal. Many articles have been written on that, and your own experiences could help inform that topic. So choose something specific with which you have firsthand experience. And be sure that it moved to that layer of more specific. So rather than just writing about the benefits of dieting, I can't think of a more boring topic. We all know the benefits of dieting. Write about the benefits of the Whole30 diet. This would be much more interesting. Here you get to describe what the diet is. That's what your article could do. And then if you have been on this diet, you would have your own experiences from the recipes that are included, the kinds of foods you can eat, the kinds of foods you avoid, how easy it is to stay on, or how hard, or how much weight you lost. That would become the second paragraph. So for the assignment, it's very important you're able to identify the authors that you summarize. One thing you may want to do for this is browse the They Say I blog website to find a topic and article. So let's take a look at that website real quickly. So They Say I blog is available at www.theysayiblog.com. You can just Google it and find it. And it includes it's a curated collection of essays on many, many topics. And in fact, the categories are listed here in this margin. So can we win the race against the machine? This is about technology. Can we bridge to the differences that divide us? Is college the best option? Pop culture actually good or bad for us? So a lot of articles on that. What gender's got to do with it? What's there to eat? What's up with the American dream? Why care about the planet? Why does it matter who wins the big game? That's the topic there is sports. So these are the categories of topics you could pursue. And then in each one of them, you would find articles that are on that topic. So and these are articles then that where you have the author identified, you have a link to the actual article, so you could cite it from the website rather than through the blog. And I'll show you in the sample video how you cite a source from the internet. All right. So that's They Say I blog. Again, that's and because this is affiliated with They Say I Say, they certainly choose articles very carefully that follow the standards and develop the topics. Plus, I think you can be very certain of the reliability of these articles. Now, to continue, if on the other hand you could use Google to find an article, what you want to be looking for here is an article from an online newspaper or magazine. Those are especially useful here. Avoid the kind of anonymous web pages I referred to earlier. Now, the basic purpose of this assignment is to practice the important skills of academic writing, summarizing, paraphrasing, quoting, citing, responding to the ideas of others. I can't think of a better definition of academic writing than that. So, your paper must include both the summarized and paraphrased content and quoted material. Go ahead and include at least partial quote in here so I can see that you're putting that together, or putting those skills together. In writing this, don't think about that you're writing this for me. Your imaginary audience, so to speak, should always be, I think for most college writing, should always be someone who slightly disagrees with your own point of view. It's easier to write something if your intention is to sort of nudge your audience's thinking about the topic towards yours. So if you agree with the article, then maybe you're writing it for somebody who might read the same article and disagree with it, and vice versa. I just think that's a kind of mind game that is useful in imagining how you're shaping what you say and including what you say. But you certainly don't want to guess that what I think. Really, I think you're writing the article to sort of shift the ideas of others. Also keep in mind that for this article in particular, you don't want to choose a topic for which people hold deeply held beliefs or attitudes. Maybe avoid the kind of hot issues of our time, you may save that for something in which you have more space to write about. The position paper at the end of the semester comes to mind. For the genre, the first person, again, is appropriate in that second paragraph. It is your reactions, your responses, and the really only way to communicate that is to use the first person. Avoid the second person, the you or your completely. 12-point, Times New Roman, double-space the entire text. Include a title. Page 161 of Little Seagulls shows the MLA format. This assignment also requires a works cited page. This is where you'll include the bibliographic information for the source you use. Again, you'll see all of this in the sample response paper I've included. And the other part of the assignment is the document here is the grading criteria and expectations. You can refer to the document in Moodle to see that more completely. All right, so that's the basic approach for the response paragraph assignment. Let me know if you have any questions or if there's a topic, especially if there's a topic you want to check with me before you pursue it.